Hello Internet, it's Zeg, I'm back in Factorio, and as has happened in previous videos, I've had a moment to think and completely changed my idea of what I want to actually do. Well, not completely, but got a better idea of what order I want to do things in. So, I think the plan will be we need to go back to the non-existent main base and set up a small sort of early mall arrangement to make basic stuff like belts and inserters and probably assemblers and power poles, I suppose. Get that set up, and then we can move on to laying out some of the circuit factory, because I think that's probably the order we need to do this in. And I've had some thoughts about how the circuit factory is actually going to work, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So the first thing, up at the top of this new bus, when I eventually get here, right, we're probably going to want some kind of small mall to make the basics. And contrary to what I said previously about doing it with robots and and using the crates under the belt and all that, why has this belt got holes in? Is there something going on over here that's weird? Well, is that copper fully packed? Might not be. Or did I miss an arm somewhere? No, that all looks good. Well, whatever, I guess. Contrary to what I said previously, probably not going to do it with purely bots, because, as I'm sure anyone who's played Factorio for some period of time knows, as soon as you start making red belts, and they use a ridiculous amount of iron gears, and then the blue belts use even more, they just eat gears like crazy. So you might as well make a factory over here that makes gears and puts that onto the bus, and then just shove that into the first mall with the belts, because you're going to need a lot of belts, and that's going to require a lot of gears, and putting all that load onto the robots probably is not a great idea. So let's quickly put down the roboport. Wait, no, the roboport's still down here. I want to clear up these trees. Well, I'll take the parts out of here, but the rest of it can stay for now. I'll just make another chest. Right, roboport. Somewhere around here-ish. Connect up the power pole. Shove the robots in it. Chest. And the detreeing blueprint. Okay, so this arrangement of belts makes some assumptions. There's 9 belts in the middle, which... no, wait, 10 belts in the middle, which theoretically goes through this gap, which is mainly going to be for where the circuits come in, the green, red and blue circuits, plus probably coal and stone, and then I left a few extra just in case. So that's those 10 in the middle. You've got the bricks and concrete, iron and copper, that's all on that side. Then on this side you've got theoretically steel, and then I forget what the other 3 were for. Dang it. Oh no, wait, the other 3 aren't for anything, they're just for laying out where the roboports go. That's why they're slightly offline from this set. See, I did have a plan. So that should mean that we should be building the first bit of factory right about, well, on this line somewhere. Wait, there's a bit of water there. How did that escape my... I'm going to have to go and get some landfill. Okay. Yeah, so it should be along this line, and we'll probably leave a gap of some kind up the top. Let's say, like... well, let's leave the same amount of space I'm leaving for the road in the middle, I guess, so like 6 spaces. So that's like here. So if we just run that across, that'd be there. Yes, that should do. Okay, so... Okay, making gears is easy enough. Just do iron in, gears out. And I also realised while I was thinking about it, I should just run everything as at least assembler 2s, because if I'm just going to be making an absolute ton of modules with all these extra circuits, I might as well just shove efficiency modules in everything. Because why not? What's this speed? It's 2. Probably need fast inserters really, but I guess I can handcraft some to start with. And don't forget to use the proper power poles now, not the stupid wooden ones. And then just copy that a few times. I mean, theoretically I could let the bots do it, but then they'd start building all this as well. Which is probably not great. Maybe I should build a personal road network. It doesn't take too long to just lay this stuff down though. Assuming you actually have the stuff to do it. Which of course I don't. I should build the path. That would probably save me quite a lot of time, in fact. That's probably a good idea. What am I after down here? Assembler 2s. So in reality we probably want... Well, no, we've still only got 1 stack of those, so that's fine, I guess. Let's just do this now before I forget. Let's just grab a couple of 100 refined concrete out of here and just make a nice path down the middle of this. That's not nearly enough, is it? It was a massive underestimate. Let's just take the rest of it, I suppose. Okay, that should make things a little bit quicker every time I need to run all the way back down there. Oh yeah, and I should probably not forget to put lights into, even though I have night vision, which makes it a bit more illuminated. Maybe not everyone. No, screw it. If we're going to copy paste this blueprint, we may as well put it in everyone. Okay, then branch the iron. I should change this back to the other hotbar, that'll help. That's not how that goes. If I'm going to run this across the bus, I should actually follow the correct layout of underground belts, which is the whole reason I made this long. I mean, that last one may not exist, but it's fine. And then these can go out to... Wait, no, that belt isn't going to exist, is it? It's just going to go straight across. This can go out to here. And let's quickly connect this up with some kind of power connection. Okay, and then we can start thinking about the belt factory. That's not even right, is it? We can shove that all the way over here. So I'll probably just do this the typical free and free and free way, which is with the belts in the middle and the other things up top, and then a free wide gap in between each row for the upgrades, and then a theoretical third row when we get blue belts. Do we run it with logistic chests now or not? I forget how buffer chests work. I've never really used them that much. They're like a combo of requester and active, right? I think. Let me just make one and then I can see, I guess. Yeah. Requester and... well, not active. Requester and passive, I think. So those should work, maybe? I'm really not sure. Well, let's just do it anyway. No, not that way. It might be best to have a separate belt for each layer, actually. So let's get rid of this and move it a bit further in. To about there. That actually uses the most, so we probably will want the belt to go all the way up. And then another one of those. So the idea is we just put iron on one side and... well, no, we put... on this one we put iron on one side and gears on the other, and then the inner belts are just gears, and then we have an extra belt that goes up here for the circuits. So that the end recipes where the splitters are can get them. So do we make this a combo belt with iron and gears, or do I make... No, let's just move it all one square further in again. Okay, screw it, I'm going to put the bots down. Just going to put them far enough away so they don't interfere with the other blueprints. Which is going to make flight time more annoying, but... But then it means I can just paste this blueprint down and have the bots do it, and then, okay, they're still going to do that, but close enough. And they've also placed one of these, but that's fine. Like that. Okay. And then we can have iron come in this way. That's a better arrangement, probably. Robots, are you going to come and build these last belts or what? It's probably cycling all the logistics requests, probably. We'll just leave them there for now. Okay, let's get this belt across. Seriously, bots? Does that not count? Wait, oh, it's not in logistics range. That's what I've done. There you go. Okay, so who needs what? You don't need gears, you do need gears, and you don't need gears. So actually we only need that belt to go this far, which means I probably was right, that's probably not necessary, but we may as well keep them all separate. And then obviously that needs circuits, which we'll be getting from somewhere else. You need gears, you need gears, and you need gears, as you would imagine. And a lot of gears, so we'll probably just put double up blue on all of them. And that should be more or less all we need for now. I'm going to limit these boxes, so... Well, no, actually, if I'm going to use them as the logistics, we shouldn't have them limited, we should have them circuit controlled, I suppose. So let's just make some circuit wire. I'm not carrying any circuit. Okay, undergrounds we'll do... Well, this is regular underground, so we'll do, say, 100. And always override it to stack size 2, so it only ever takes out pairs. Belts will do like 500. And splitters will do probably 50 for now. red ones, let's say like half as much, I guess. Or not quite half as much. Okay, and find some way to connect that up to power. I should probably build like a power line down the middle of the bus somewhere. That would make sense, but I'm not ready to commit to that kind of layout just yet. Now the other question is, do I want to connect the output inserters to the circuit network so I can prioritize lower level belts? Because, you know, theoretically you don't want to prioritize lower level belts, you should always just build the higher level ones, but when I'm on this lower amount of resources, it's probably more worthwhile prioritizing the lower ones. Well, it's probably not going to take that long to finish those, so maybe we won't bother. So the other thing we need is circuits, which I'm probably still just going to run a belt up from the circuit factory for now. I mean, not the circuit factory, the old factory, which has circuits in it. We'll just do this horribly messy, but it'll be fine. Where on my bus is the circuits likely to be? I guess probably the innermost line on this side. And obviously they will be flowing downwards in the future. So I'll probably run it up here and then just turn around. That'll probably work. Actually, that's kind of awkward. How do I want to deal with that? Yeah, whatever. It's fine for now. That belt isn't even going to be there for a long time because that's the concrete belt, and we don't really even, well, arguably you don't even need that on the bus at all. It's only there for making buildings. Okay, circuits coming gradually. Iron supply is obviously looking real weak, but that's because I've only got 1/3 of how much I should have, and I can upgrade this all to red belts and add another line and all that, so that'll be fine. Let's just make sure everything actually is connected up correctly once these circuits get here. Okay, good. Right, so now we can get on with another 2 hours of speed up time, when I should quickly finish this off, get the little logistic zone set up done, and then probably get some of the circuit factory built in that amount of time, with any luck. So let's see how it goes. we're back just as the copper's about to arrive. So, you may have seen during all the sped up footage I got the little mall area up and running, and now I've come over here to work on the circuit factory a bit. I've done some very fast estimated maths, literally back of the envelope, because I've got an envelope here on my desk, just to get an idea of what I wanted to do with this. So the way this is theoretically going to work is I'm going to build this factory under the assumption that it's not exporting anything in total, even though it will be. It will just be set up so that if it's not exporting anything, it will just use everything it's got. And end of the line will be tier 3 modules. And so then I work the maths backwards from that to like blue circuits and red circuits and then to green circuits and all the ratios involved therein. And my quick estimation comes out at about 2-to-1 ratio of iron and copper, although it's really more like 1.75 to 1-ish. Doesn't really matter how close that I get to that, but so I'm setting up for 2 smelting lines of copper and 1 of iron, which will make 1 blue belt of iron and 2 blue belts of copper, which isn't really that much, but we'll hopefully be able to maybe tile this or just duplicate it if I want to do even more. So yeah, in theory we'll have an entire blue belt of green circuits available, and then obviously about half a blue belt of red circuits, and then a few blue circuits, and then the tier 3 modules at the end, and then I'll also just have a priority output line that goes back up to the trains, and that can output into the other base as necessary, so it will just steal the production out of the tier 3 circuits and put it into the trains as necessary. So hopefully that should work reasonably well, and hopefully be somewhat tileable, although I didn't really plan out for the oil half of this factory, where I have to take the coal, turn it into plastic, and also make sulfuric acid for the blue circuits. I'm not sure where I'm going to put that. I might just stick it on this end, maybe? Like a linear setup down this edge, and then try and fit in other stuff into this side of the bus. Maybe the red circuits can go on this side, although you're going to need a lot more factories for red circuits than green circuits because they're much slower. So we might have like a whole stack and then maybe blue and the modules over this side. We'll have to see how that layout actually goes. And obviously this is all based on like my current tech speed, so it's still only using assembly machine 2s and not 3s, that kind of stuff. So it may need a redo at some point. So now we're kind of reaching the point where I really should actually build trains rather than all these long ass belts all over the place, which means I probably need to go back to my mall factory area and actually set up to make rails and signals and all those bits and pieces that you're going to need for trains, and probably trains as well maybe. I'm not sure if that will happen. Well, you need to make engines, but engines will want to be on the bus. Yeah, probably. So in general, this system seems to be working pretty good. I mean, it kind of overloads everything if I take too much stuff out of it at once, but at this point we're probably okay. And obviously all the belts need upgrading at some point. How are we doing on the resource deposits down here? Are we getting low yet? 158k, 5 and 6, and 88. Yeah, I thought the coal was going to be a problem, but we're really still not using that much electricity even now. Even with roboports and electric furnaces and assembling machines all going at once, it's still only, well, it's not even a third of what I actually have set up there, but it's still not actually draining the coal out that quickly, so we'll probably be okay. And in the meantime, I've just been chipping away at a few researchers. Got the option to build a nuclear power station now if I want to. because we've got this uranium deposit down here, and it's a reasonable size. I'm not sure how many drills I'll be able to fit on that, and then the ratio of how many drills to run one reactor and all that stuff. I'll have to do that maths again at some point, and probably make a design for a reactor, because I don't have my old blueprints imported into this version. Although I might do that in Sandbox and not record that. Right, so I guess train stuff. We can probably still throw that all in this factory. I'll just need to bring the stone line off the back through this gap into the bus. Which is why I left all this gap. It's all the planning ahead. Oh, and I should probably just pick up this random box of wood that's hanging out over here as well. Although, wait, how much stone does it use? Oh, it's only 1 stone per 2, so it's not actually that terrible for the bots to pick up, I don't think. Which belt do we probably want to put that on? Well, logically I'd say this one on the inside where all the other stone-related products are, I guess. So we'll probably do it on the innermost belt up here. And for now it can just be a direct split. I didn't really plan ahead for how to split this belt outwards, so I guess we'll just, for now, we'll just do it right here, and then I can come back and fix that up later if necessary. So even though I said this belt wasn't going to be here, it totally is. And that was lab research speed 3. Is there anything else we want related to trains? Like braking force? Not especially. I mean, it's there, I can do it. Another round of lab research speed. I could maybe collect like 150 extra yellow science out of my old base and get another level of worker robot speed. That's always nice. Yeah, that might not actually be a bad idea. Nope. Come to me, robot. Okay, good. How much extra did I actually have? I've got like 4 in there, plus 19 in there. Oh god, I'm not going to do the maths. At this point I can pretty much just chuck in the parts to make the yellow science. Well, no I can't, because I need to switch this back to making the what do you call them? Oh, wait, that's the wrong arm. The lightweight structures. I need to make some more of those. And flip all these around. Okay, yep, we'll just set that up like that, that'll be fine. Just get those going. Oh yeah, and I didn't mention it in the other episode when I was doing this, but they stack to 10. I'd kind of forgotten that. I think at one point they did stack more than that, but yes, they've been put way down to actually just 10, so you need a lot of space if you're going to store them in containers. How many extra robo frames do I still have left? Like 300. Plus 27 in my inventory that I just picked up. Actually, let me just put those back. Okay. That should probably be enough. I don't think I'm going to need to make any more robots for a while. I've got 2 separate crews of construction and then my logistics load, which is more than enough to keep up with the amount of logistics I'm doing at the moment. Won't be enough if I run logistics trains immediately, but I may just run belt-loaded, unloaded trains for a while. At least until I'm actually making bots again. I mean, directly off the bus, not down here with my awkward manual battery insertion and all that. Blue Science, why are you so slow at the moment? No, I guess you're just fine. I guess it's because I got the lab speed upgrade, so now it's actually outpacing the blue production. Which doesn't really matter, as long as it's just getting used. What was the other thing I was going to do? Right, the train stuff. Is there anything else in here I want? Not really. I can, in fact, throw these goddamn electric poles away. May as well take the stone out, I guess. Put that in the car with the rest of it. Okay, so let's just quickly make a train setup. Oh, also, what I was thinking I should do is, because I'm using this blueprint to place down the little logistics componented mall area things, this one should just have, if you set it to this and then put modules in it and then unset its recipe, I should be able to update the blueprint to include the modules, and that will just make my life slightly easier. Not tiles. I mean, it won't. I guess it won't make my life slightly easier yet. I'll still have to put the modules in manually, but I guess I could throw some in this storage container and just have the bots do it. Okay, so what are we actually going to need for trains? We're going to need rails, obviously, train stops and both types of signals, and then we get onto the actual trains themselves, but that's... we need engines for those, so I'll have to make a thing to make engines over the other side. We may also want pipes. Well, See, pipes qualify in the same range as belts as being probably something that I should actually run a belt to make. So maybe I'll build another row down here to do pipes and just have another little iron split off. That's probably not a bad idea. It's rather more belt splitting than I was thinking, and I've also just been, you may have noticed, been running this belt of gears and circuits through so that my logistics bots don't have to do so much work carrying stuff around. Yeah, okay, we'll do rails and signals and stations up there, and then pipes down here, and then probably trains behind, maybe. That'll be fine. It's all going to be well within the logistics zone. So let's quickly drop these down. So if we do rails, regular signals, chain signals, stations. Do we need pumps, maybe? I mean, that's engines again, so we still got to make that. And there's walls and gates, I guess. There's a lot of stuff that's not going to get done in this factory, I don't think. Probably make something to make these boxes as well. That would be convenient. Okay, rails, which conveniently use as sticks, which I can branch off there. train stations also use the sticks, which we can branch off this one. Well, that was way better planned than I even intended. How many rails? Let's do like 2 rows. Stations, obviously, we only need a maximum 1 stack. Signals and signals. We're going to want, say, maybe 4 stacks of regular and 2 of chain, maybe. Okay, and then we need a bus entry point for the rocks. Well, I was going to do it there, but since I'm going to have to run a power line across the bus, I should do it in line with this, which is going to make this slightly more awkward. Well, we're probably not going to need it that fast, so we'll just do a half-length one with only 1 arm. That'll probably be fine. Oh yeah, and pull the rock out of the car in there. Okay, engines and trains, I guess. I'll be using about not quite 2/3 of the logistics spot capacity with just that much running. I may need a couple more robot ports if they're going all the way over here to charge. Right, so on this side, does it make sense to make engines immediately? Because you need them to make electric engines, you need them to make pumps. I mean, I'm more thinking about what's on the bus. Electric engines to make robots. I don't remember what else. But they are only made of steel gears and pipe, which is basically just steel and iron, so they can be made at this point in the bus. There's no secondary components. So I mean, I might as well, right? Because I think normally if I was doing a regular factory layout, I'd have gears and then probably circuits. So I guess let's just real quickly lay out some kind of engine machine. Which I'll probably do the same way as I did down in the other half of the base. Well, I mean, I guess I don't technically need machines to make gears. I can bring gears off the actual bus line. And then just have 2-to-1 on the pipes. Steel in and engines out, and then on the other side. And then gears can come in with the undergrounds, Iron on the back. Okay, now we get rid of that, move it up, put it probably slightly spaced off the gear factories. I guess we might want to beacon those at some point, so let's leave a full free gap. Wait for the robots to build it. Okay, this is all real slow because they take forever, so that'll be yellow. The pipes is what? 4 in 10 seconds? Yeah, that's not even going to be... that'll be fine. And some ins and outs. Some kind of power pole arrangement. Yep, sure, that'll do. And I guess some lights. Okay. So how are we going to do this? Should we do iron on the out? No, let's do... Wait, which one am I trying to do? No, iron has to go on the outside because that's where the pipes are being made. Which is going to be annoying, of course. This is the problem with having a two-sided bus. You tend to run into issues where your splitters overlap with each other. Well, let's just solve this the easy way, I guess, and just make the iron come up and split over here. So what else was that? That was gears, and then steel. Do you want to do... Do we even need that secondary belt? Not really. I mean, we could just put gears and steel on one belt. It would be fine. Yeah, that's probably a bit excessive. Oh, yep, of course, I didn't really think that through either, did I? It'll be fine like this. And then iron can just come like this somewhere. Split it off. Okay, bearing in mind that I'm about to probably split an iron belt out here for these guys. Let's maybe do it as high up as possible. That's actually perfect. And then there's going to be a bit of a jank belt, but it's fine. It's only slightly jank. And that should get me a belt worth of engines. Well, not really a belt worth. Some amount of engines. And I guess in the interest of my bot arrangement, I could split them upwards and then have them get inserted into the bus up there, but that's maybe a bit much. Might just cram it in down here somewhere. Bearing in mind that I want big power poles down this middle section. We're not going to need nearly as many engines as anything else, so I'll just use blue inserters for that one. Okay, let's at least just copy paste this a couple of times. And then we can drop the trains and pipes and the other things. But that will be for the next episode. So yeah, next episode we'll be getting on with probably actually getting a train network up and running. Or at least partially up and running. There's going to be a lot of temporary jank, particularly at the stations. But we're definitely getting somewhere now. I mean, we still have never demolished the bottom factory, so that's a very large Klingon onto the bottom of our base. It just needs cleaning up. But as soon as we get the circuit factory up and connected, that's most of the reason for the bottom base still existing out of the way. And then it will just be a matter of actually, you know, getting a proper bus going with the actual labs on it. And all the sciences we've already done, and rebuild all the oil stuff. Okay, yeah, there's still a lot to do. Never mind, next time. Yeah, put the end card on the screen. We've got our Facebook, we've got our Twitter to inform you about our podcast on our website. And this YouTube channel that you're probably watching this on, which you can like and subscribe. Or, well, you can subscribe to the channel and you can like this video. I don't think you can like a channel, right? And I don't even know. Pretty sure. And that's the end of this video. Goodbye.